Welcome back to the Hoodneys Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 101. I got my dogs with me here, MFB.
What's up?
And BBTB. And this is week 11, studs and duds. Not too many studs, a lot of duds. It was a weird week. But let's go ahead and just jump into it. Quarterbacks at the very top, Josh Allen, 42.68 fantasy points. He had 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 on the ground. And this is why you drafted Josh Allen. He can go out and do this any given week. He hasn't really been doing it like that, but yeah, this is like, I think his best performance since week 1 against Baltimore. Yeah. So Josh Allen doing
He's
Josh
had
Allen
a couple
things.
crazy weeks, but had a couple dud weeks as well.
Yeah, he had some. I mean, he's been pretty solid. I think week 2 he had his worst week, but since then he's been 19 plus fantasy points. So I mean, good enough, doing his thing. Next on the list, a very, very surprising name, Bryce Young against Atlanta, led them to a victory in overtime. 31.82 fantasy points, threw for 448 yards, which, by the way, quick note, is the most passing yards anyone's had against Atlanta defense this season.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is that I was 1 year a little early. I was on the Bryce Young chain last year. I wasn't this year.
The what, bro? The chain?
That's the MFB method.
But he scored 1.56 fantasy points last week against the Saints, and then 2.98
yeah. So
against
okay, here's where this year specifically makes no sense in the NFL. The Saints go and spank the Panthers. Okay. Atlanta, I forgot what team they shut down, but they shut down like a crazy team 1 week. I forgot who it was. And then the Panthers, who got spanked by the Saints, go play Atlanta, who hasn't allowed 200 passing yards on them. And then they get double that thrown on by Bryce Young.
Divisional games,
any given week, bro. It's crazy.
By the way, the week after they played the Saints, they played the Packers and beat the Packers. So they got smacked by the Saints.
Right. Yeah.
And also the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
God.
I mean,
Football 101, man.
Crazy. That's fantasy for you.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where the list, well, not yet technically, but the list kind of drops off. Dak Prescott on Monday night, 24.32 fantasy points. Did his thing through 4 touchdowns. I don't think he had any turnovers. No, he had a fumble, but no interceptions. And then looks like, a good bounce back for him against that Vegas team. I mean, anyone kind of get it done, right? But a good bounce back. His last 2 games were pretty bad before the bye. But next on the list, a very surprising name. Not really a stud performance, but just throwing it in there because it's the only other performance above 20 fantasy points. Jacoby Brissett in a game where they lost, threw for 452 yards and actually broke the NFL record for the number of completions in a game. He had 47 completions in that game. That is a single game NFL record. So good for him.
That is an insane amount of completions.
Just
did you know? I think they calculated it took JJ McCarthy 3 games to reach that number or something.
Wow.
That's
crazy. Yeah, Vikings should go trade for him. Anyways.
Saints should go trade for him.
Who?
Saints,
Jacoby Brissett. He's a backup, man. He's not a franchise quarterback. Anyways. He's doing his thing over there in Arizona. I need to give him props. I was really down on him. I think I just hate my.
You were a hater.
I was. I'm straight up. I'll admit it. But he's had very solid performances. I think he hasn't had less than 19 fantasy points in the game he started this season. So I mean, that's pretty pretty consistent. Mr. Consistent, pretty consistent, whatever you want to call it. He's got a very safe floor. Anyways, let's move on from quarterbacks to the wide receivers. At the top of the list, Tedero McMillan, who tore up the Atlanta defense, 29 fantasy points, did his thing, man. had 130 yards, 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Finally broke out, had his real true breakout game with those 2 touchdowns, which he now has 4 touchdowns on the season. His last 2 touchdowns were against Dallas, and he had 2 touchdowns in that game as well. So good for him. Next on the list, Michael Wilson, 26 fantasy points, the benefactor of Jacoby Brissett completing 46 for 47 passes, and no Marvin Harrison. 185 yards on 15 receptions, no touchdowns, which is crazy.
Crazy. Probably never happening again.
Yeah.
But it cannot be ignored, right? Like, he's a guy you probably want to get and maybe even start over some big names that you would be like, if you
especially if Marvin Harrison missed another game, which I don't
he
think
could. Appendicitis, bro? He
Dude,
probably need another week to recover.
I would say.
But then again, with NFL players, you don't know. They have crazy bodies.
You would think that, but this is their franchise receiver on a year where they're not really playing for anything. Like, why rush him back from a surgery like that? Like, there's no reason to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not like a true reason to, I suppose. So
Yeah,
I could see him sitting out another week for sure.
yeah, definitely. But Michael Wilson, by the way, 185 yards is so far the most yards in a game this season by any receiver. Just another note. Cardinals player.
Also
Cardinals.
pretty nuts.
Cardinals player. You know what it is. Better than Marv. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't that high on Michael Wilson. He hasn't been getting it done this year. I thought he was stepping up a little bit more last year. This year, I thought he kind of came down his third year in the league. But I mean, he showed us he can. Did you guys watch that game or any of the highlights? He was making some good grabs, man.
Michael Wilson?
Yeah, I'm impressed by the way he played. He actually was a dog.
Brother. You know that homie's from Simi Valley, by the way?
He went to Stanford. Really? He went to Stanford, I think.
Yeah. No, he grew up in Simi Valley. He went to
but college, yeah.
He went to the same middle school as me. Sorry, quick side note. Then he went to Chaminade High School, then Stanford. So basically I'm boys with that homie.
Yeah, same thing with Drake London too, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways, next on the list, George Pickens, Monday night, 24.9 fantasy points. Went out there and got it done against the terrible Las Vegas Raiders. And then Nico Collins, next on the list, 19.7 fantasy points, who's dealing with an ankle issue. I think they play Buffalo on Thursday night this week. But just a random side note. And then Christian Watson, 18.6 fantasy points. Kind of slowly maybe becoming the number one there in Green Bay.
I talked about it last week because I think Kimo, your trade for target was Jaden Reed or something like that.
Yes,
sorry to call you out, but I hated the pick.
No.
I was just like, yo, Christian Watson is there. Like, he's the number one. He's getting the reps in. You got to watch out for him.
Yeah. I still think Reed is going to be a big piece of this offense. I was big on Watson. This week I had people were asking start sit questions about between Christian Watson or Xavier Worthy. I said Watson over Worthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because, I mean, it's tough because you see the projection. I mean, you see a player with a lower projection. Sometimes it kind of scares you off. You're like, nah. And you don't want to make the wrong decision. And people say, like, what? Why would you start this guy? He's not, you know what I mean? Like, he has a lower projection, whatever. So, anyways, no, he did his thing.
I mean, Watson definitely has his target share increasing, right? So, since returning from ACL, he had 11%, 11%, 14%, and then 20%.
Well,
so definitely growing.
And real quick, I was about to say Josh Jacobs is hurt too, so they got to probably throw the ball. So their run game won't be as sick. So
yeah, we'll have to see how that works out for Emmanuel Wilson.
Mm-hmm. A quick note back to Nico Collins is week 1 he had 5.5, and then week 2 14 PPR points, right? But since then he's been averaging almost 17 PPR points per game.
With CJ Stroud or Davis Mills as quarterback?
With both? Okay.
He's just been averaging, right? Obviously more with Davis Mills, right? Because man, it's kind of looking
Man.
better with Davis Mills, bro. They might as
He
well.
looking
I mean, they
lot-
play on Thursday night, so Stroud still might not play.
Bro, if,
No.
honestly, yeah, if you're a Nico Collins owner, I would not want Stroud to play. I'd be like, nah, bro, sit this one out. Let Davis Mills do his thing. Because honestly, he is doing really good in these last 2 games. They're favorable matchups for like wide receivers, but still, he's looking really good. Anyways, let's move on from wide receiver. There's a couple more names. Jameson Williams, 17.7. Deebo Samuel, 17.2. These are not like big set performances, but anyways, let's move on to running backs. At the very top, Sean Tucker, 33 fantasy points. I just need to say, when Bucky got hurt, I picked up Sean Tucker thinking he was going to be the one to go out there and, ball. It's all Rachaad White. And so I dropped Sean Tucker. I was like, bro, he's not doing anything. It's all Rachaad White. Bucky will be back soon. Bro, I was like, this fool is not getting the carries. They obviously, Rachaad White is their guy. He got in the end zone the next week after that, right? Against SF, only on 6 carries. Didn't do anything against Detroit. Got into the end zone against the Saints. Didn't really do much last week against New England. Anyways, yeah, good for him. He did. It was 2 rush touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. There's
Yeah.
Bro, it's so like funny and random. This is kind of irrelevant, but there was 14-man leagues I'm in, 16-man leagues I'm in. Sean Tucker's on the bench, right? Because like, who's really gonna I don't know, start Sean Tucker? In a 10-man league I'm in, a guy starts Sean Tucker. In a 10-man. Now that guy's a wizard, I think.
Bro,
Like,
has to be.
No
Has to
way, right? Or Sean Tucker called him. It's like, hey, bro, now it's me this weekend. Trust. Like, I don't
Look.
know. It doesn't make sense.
in our 12-man league, a lot of our teams are stacked in our 12-man league. 808, my brother, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know him, that's 808. He started Sean Tucker and McCaffrey together. His team was
Yeah.
absolutely nuclear.
That's
I don't know what
nuts.
was going through his brain, but his brain was
He probably thought, man, I don't got anyone. There's on bye.
literally-
Hail Mary.
Yeah, man. But Sean Tucker, bro, another definitely must add if he's available. Just to give a fantasy fact, running back rush shares over the last 4 games, 9%, right? That's what Chemo dropped him. And then
Hell yeah.
41%, 47%, and 65%.
crazy.
So
Slowly taking over that backfield.
I don't know if Bucky's healthy or back or whatever that situation is, because they've been very quiet about that situation.
Yeah,
Sean Tucker
interestingly, right?
looking solid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, couple more names here. Christian McCaffrey, just doing his thing.
Bro, they left him in the game. They're up 20 plus points with 5 minutes left, and they gave it to that man like 5 or 6 times, and he punched it in the end zone. They're up by 3
And
to
I
4.
still couldn't win.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah,
Bro, coach has him in fantasy, bro. The head coach has him in fantasy. Literally,
Dude, I mean,
Only reason.
is
makes no sense.
someone on that coaching staff has him in fantasy.
Or they want him to get like offensive player of the year or something. Who knows?
Playing for some, yeah. I mean, the Niners, it's not like they're not playing for anything. They have a shot, obviously, at playoffs. I don't know how close they are in
That division's nuts.
Oh, that division is
It's
close.
the Rams on top.
All I know is
They
Cardinals
beat
on the
the
bottom.
Seahawks. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, the Cardinals are at the bottom, and then Seahawks and Niners are
It's just one game. They're just one
tied.
game
Yeah,
back.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
but they're one game behind the
that
Rams.
close?
Both of them. It's a
Yeah.
very close division, bro.
Okay.
The NFC is
I wouldn't
shaping up to be wild this year,
I
Yeah.
wouldn't know. I haven't been looking at
especially with 2 divisions. Right?
that division. I've just been looking at Cardinals on the
Actually,
bottom.
3.
and-
Actually, even 3 divisions, kind of crazy. But yeah,
Yeah. Travion Henderson on Thursday night got it done. 2 rush touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown. Did his thing.
if
Look.
you were patient and you like didn't cut Travion, held on to him, didn't trade him away, or you even went and bought him, it's paying dividends. I highly, highly respect it.
Yeah.
Like I
Who-
consider myself a patient manager, but seeing the Travion usage, I would have been on the verge of trading him for pennies myself.
Well, the thing is, though, the conversation that we were having last week is, hey, if Ramondre doesn't play Thursday night and Travion goes dumb, is Travion, that's it. He's solidified. My opinion, he's solidified. That's it. He doesn't fumble the ball. He's quick. He can pass. He's such a better passing back than Ramondre. Like, what more do you want?
Who's better? Who's better at pass protection though?
Both. I mean,
both are decent.
Both are decent.
Okay.
But what
I
I'm
haven't
saying,
watched enough of both of them, but yeah.
what I'm saying is, if you have Ramondre, I wouldn't risk it.
I think Travion has definitely proven himself. He's definitely made a case for himself to be the starter, right?
Yeah.
But you just never know. They brought him in.
I think it might be a split, but I think Travion earned a split, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he earn more? Who knows, bro? That's up to the coach, and the coach has been weird all season with Travion. So brace yourselves for anything, kind of.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, bro, you give this guy the ball, he does work, bro. 92% snap share, 86% running back rush share, 15% target share. The top tier usage will eventually land you top tier numbers, and that's what we saw Thursday night.
100%.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, 28.3 fantasy points, 2 rush touchdowns, had one sharked by Algier again. Every week he has a Algier tax. We have to give him a touchdown at least once a week.
Sorry, my fault. But I was gonna say, as a Bijan owner, I'm low-key kind of juiced that Kirko is the QB now, because Penix is not using his feet no more. I'm just saying, the quarterback for the Falcons. Look, the Penix he used to scramble a lot. Kirko can't run. What is it gonna do? Dump offs. Well,
you would think. I just don't know how often Kirk Cousins targets his running backs. You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying.
I mean, it's just part of their offense. They're going to target Bijan.
Yeah.
I would be it's kind of worrying because for the last time Kirk started, it looked abysmal.
Horrible.
Right?
I know.
That's my worry, right? On top of that, your top receiving talent has a contusion or something.
Yeah.
He's supposed to miss this week.
Drake London, the only receiver who was showing up. We got Darnell Donut Mooney, who hasn't done nothing, right?
Yeah.
They might as well stack the box, bro.
Yeah, that might be the easiest way to get
might as well
done.
stack the box, and then I'd be really worried as a Bijan owner, kind of. The ceiling is probably lower now. The floor is still there for Bijan. I'm not worried about that, but
yeah, I feel it. Let's move on to one more. Kenneth Gainwell, 26 fantasy points, took over for Jalen Warren, did his thing, 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, anytime Jalen Warren's hurt, Gainwell's a must start, kind of. 27% target share the second time this season, and lo and behold, Jalen Warren was banged up both those times.
Yeah. He did his thing. Yeah, both those games where Jalen Warren, one of them he missed. It was the overseas game, I think. And then this one where Jalen Warren left early, Kenneth Gainwell kind of took over and did his thing. But if Jalen Warren misses time, definitely worth an ad for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more names. Travis Etienne, 19.3. He got 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry also got 2 touchdowns, 19.2. H-Han, 19 fantasy points, getting it done week in, week out. And we'll stop there with the running backs. Let's move into tight ends. At the top, you already know who's there. Trey McBride. Week in, week out. Finally has a QB that knows how to throw the ball.
Bro.
Throwing it to him.
With Jacoby, it's such a wild difference, man.
Insane.
Trey McBride has scored at least 1 touchdown in all 5 of Jacoby's starts.
Do you think Kyler Murray will
can't see over the line? Yes. I don't think he will
ever admit that he just literally couldn't see Trey McBride out there? He literally didn't know where he was. Could not actually see over the line.
I don't know, but that homie's going to be a saint next year. Calling it from now.
Bro, I think if I'm the Saints and I see that fool, and I see the difference of what a backup quarterback is doing with that offense versus what he was doing with that offense, I'd be like, nah, bro, I don't want that fool on my team. I'm good. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thanks. Trey McBride, Mr. Dependable. The only player on the Cardinals that I said don't trade away. He's doing it week in, week out, man. He's a beast. George Kittle, next on the list, 21.7 fantasy points, the number one passing option. And now with Brock Purdy back, probably a little bit of an upgrade for Kittle as well. 2 touchdowns for him. Travis Kelce got into the end zone, 19.6 fantasy points, randomly getting it done.
My Charger.
He actually had been pretty good the last 3 games. He had a touchdown, 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games, but against Buffalo even he had 66 yards. So Kelsey's like doing pretty decent for being so old and washed. Couple more names. Oh, maybe it's you.
I was going to just say, like, if I'm a Kelsey owner, I'm pretty hyped because right now the Chiefs are 5-5 right now. They haven't been 5-5 since the 2015 start over there, So what I'm trying to say is, like, if they want to make playoffs, the run game is not there. The run game is not there. They're passing that thing. So Rashi should be eating, Kelsey should be eating, and you got to get lucky with either Worthy or Hollywood Brown. So if I'm a Kelsey or Rashi owner, I'm pretty juiced. And you're not going to be versing the Broncos again. So.
You will week 17, but it'll be at home.
They play them again
in Arrowhead.
Oh, I know, but that's fantasy. Oh, that's championship. If you make the champion, come on, it's the championship.
I mean, but think about it. If they are in a must-win situation and they're at home in Arrowhead, they could go crazy, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Could be, so it's very good for fantasy-wise, Chiefs players. Mark Andrews, next on the list, 14.2 fantasy points, got into the end zone off of a 35-yard carry. Rush.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Bro, I watched the play.
That was crazy. And
game-winning touchdown, by the way.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy. I mean, hey, the fantasy, baby, but also football. But I mean, I still don't like Mark Andrews, bro. Like, if you took
You're
away
just
that
a hater.
play,
You're
bro,
just a
if you
hater.
took away that play, let's do some math real quick, Kimo. If you took away that play, how many points does Mark Andrews score, my brother?
2. Bro, I'll be honest with you. If you took away one play from each week of Mark Andrews, he has like 2 fantasy points every week. If you take away, he does not end up in the studs.
No, there's some weeks where it's like kind of normal.
Maybe one against Detroit, week 3, he had 2 touchdowns. Against Miami, you take away one of those touchdowns. He had 2 receptions, 22 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you take away one of those touchdowns,
so
it's
he's just a
week.
boom bust kind of guy.
Brother, Mark Andrews is a knockoff Taysom Hill, bro. That's all I'm saying right now.
Just because that rush, look, they put him in on a 4th and 1. This dude bounces out, spins around, and hits, by the way, a 20.09 mile per hour top speed.
Oh,
shit. He kind of fast.
Brother. And there was some other stat. Oh, and this was also the game where he broke the Ravens receiving record for yards, like total yards as a Ravens player.
Oh.
Yes, he broke the record, yeah.
Oh, how many yards?
Look, I don't know exactly the number, but he broke the record.
Receiving yards.
Yes, brother. He's not going to break the running back yards with that play. Go look it up.
I need to look it up, bro, because they used to have Anquan Bolden, bro. I don't know, as a receiver. Who else was a
Mark
receiver?
Andrews has more.
AJ Barner, 12.1 fantasy points.
5,800 yards.
Didn't get into the end zone, but yeah. And then Brock Bowers, 10.7.
Sorry, I'm tripping.
Fantasy.
You meant overall, right? Not in a single game.
Oh, no. Yes. Yeah. Overall.
Okay, I was like, we're in a single game. I was like,
no. Broke the records for most yards as a Raven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's props.
Yeah, props to him. He's gonna keep doing his thing out there. He's gonna make that record harder to break for the next guy. For Zay Flowers, weak. No, I'm playing. Let's move on to the duds. That's it for the studs. Starting with quarterback at the very top, Justin Herbert, 3.34 fantasy points. I got chopped because of Justin Herbert. I'm going to put it on him. It's not even his fault, per se. I'm gonna blame him because I'm annoyed. It just how do you go out there and get against Jacksonville too? That team, bro, they're missing Joe Alt. They lost 2 of their linemen for the season, and it's showing. Justin Herbert, by the way, the last 2 games against against Pittsburgh, he had a touchdown against Pittsburgh, so he did all right. But Jacksonville, man, they pulled him early. Game was over. Like I think fourth quarter, ETN got a touchdown, and then they just pulled him after that. I'm pretty sure.
I'll be honest, no one predicted that because I think Justin Herbert was technically number 3 in the quarterback. Like he was top 3, and then he had
projections.
No, like number 3, like quarterback
overall. Okay.
And then he played Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a bot. Like they give up the 5th most to quarterbacks. Like Herbert should have had a game.
I'm telling you, bro.
Props to Liam
It's
Cohen.
just NFL, bro. The Chargers stomp out the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Literally.
but then they play the Jags, who I don't even know if they played Steelers or not. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just any given week, bro.
I don't want to keep talking.
O-line has issues, and yeah, I mean they'll probably bounce back. We've seen the Chargers bounce back, like Justin Herbert has like been on the duds and he's been on the studs, and he's just
that fool's dealing with trouble. We're gonna find out. They're gonna find out this week or in a few weeks. Something's happening with Madison Beer. Something's going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
His personal life's interfering with football. I don't like this. I want this guy off my team. I never want to trust him again. I need a married man on my fantasy team that doesn't have any drama.
like Kirk Cousins.
Sign him up to my team, baby. Let's go.
Oh, man.
Mr. Faithful Christian man. Sam Darnold, next on the list, if you trusted him, 4.26 fantasy points, came back down to earth against that tough Rams defense.
He threw 4 interceptions, bro.
Yeah, brother. He looking
That's
like the OG.
-8 off the rip.
He
got
looked like the
exposed.
OG Sam Darnold.
He got exposed. So I'm just saying, look, if you are a JSN owner, a K9 owner, I wouldn't trip because the schedule is a lot easier because their defenses that he plays are not that good. But once it gets in the playoffs, and you have one of those homies, I would panic. You'll play the Rams again in week 16, and then week 15 is the Colts. So
yeah, he has 2 performances under 5 fantasy points. He's in a row, by the way. Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I would not.
I mean, any like the guy can't move, right? So, and I wish I said this on the podcast, but I didn't. So it's gonna sound obvious now, but like if you put heat and can blitz and get to Sam Darnold, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? If you put any heat or pressure, because in all the previous games before last week, nobody was like really putting the heater on Sam Darnold. He was just like JSN, boom, over there. Oh, JSN over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was smooth. But Rams have amazing pass rush, so.
True.
Yeah, next on the list, Lamar Jackson, man. Lost me my week, bro. Just
yeah, a lot of O-lines are not
points.
holding up against great pass rush.
I get it, but Lamar usually can, get out of the pocket and break off for a run or something.
Yeah.
Tough for Lamar.
You could kind of chalk it up to just like those weird divisional games, bro.
Myles Garrett, just.
I bet you we see like, our Ravens, they're not on bye. No, they play the Jets. Oh yeah. Lamar Jackson, 40-point bomb incoming.
Yeah, bro, I needed him this week, not next week. I needed him to get me like 7 points, bro. He couldn't even do that. That's it for the QB duds. A couple more names just to throw them out there, just for fun. JJ McCarthy, a.k.a. 9. Aaron Rodgers, 9.44 fantasy points. Joe Flacco, 9.86. If you trusted these guys, Caleb Williams, 10.3, yada, yada, yada. Let's move on to wide receivers. At the very top, with 0 fantasy points, Quentin Johnston, man. Another donut. Do you guys feel comfortable starting Quentin Johnston anymore? I wouldn't.
No.
Brother.
I never have. And look, maybe I was a couple weeks early, but I said the homie will disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He has 3 donuts on the season? A donut against Miami. Did he play that game? I think he was injured. But anyways, donut against Minnesota and a donut against Jacksonville.
Yeah, bro. Tough scene. I mean, the Chargers got like demolished, so like nothing surprising there, right?
Yeah.
He had, let me see real quick. He only saw 3 targets, about a 12% target share. Not the best numbers. I mean, he might come back and get like a touchdown or 2 the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But Chargers just need to step it
up. We have a long list of wide receiver duds, so I'm gonna spam through these. Khalil Shakir.
But hold on, stick on this one because somebody's set to trade for this homie.
Khalil Shakir 0.2.
There was 44 points in that game, and somehow this homie got 0.2, bruh. I'm sorry, John Allen 6 touchdowns, bruh. I'm supposed to predict.
You want to know what's even weirder about that, right? A weirder stat to go along with that is he was the only Bills wide receiver with a route share above 50%. Meaning
Fool's out there doing cardio.
yeah. I mean, that kind of is what it translates to as well. But he wasn't seeing
out there.
Targets, bro.
Just like, what a waste of time. He got the win though, so the
peripherals are not bad. But yeah, this is kind of why I never loved Khalil Shakir as like a fantasy player. But
so this is just
fantasy, I don't know. Eventually he'll get the ball. He'll see the ball.
Yeah. Ricky Pearsall, first game back, 0.5 fantasy points. Definitely not ready to be back. Devonta Smith, 1.3 fantasy points. It happens. That's the Eagles. DJ Moore, 2.6 fantasy points. I'm this close to dropping him. I'm this close to DJ Moore. Ladd McConkey, 2.8 fantasy points. We talked about Justin Herbert, Fartfest. Xavier Worthy, 4 fantasy points. Just Denver defense. That's all there is to it. Jamar Chase, 4.5 fantasy points. He spit on Jalen Ramsey. He's suspended. Remo Dunze, 5.1 fantasy points. Caleb Williams sucks. Amon-Ra, 5.2 fantasy points. Jared Goff can't play in weather under 70 degrees. Emeka Egbuka, 6.5 fantasy points. This is an interesting one. This one I'm going to stop for.
Because he saw a crazy target share still.
And so Baker was slinging it. So
yeah.
This is an interesting one.
Catchable balls.
Yeah, in a game where there was like over 70 fantasy points. 70 real points.
Yeah.
Over 70 points, and he didn't benefit from it. Devontae Adams, I'm throwing these names in here because just a couple more. 6.6 fantasy points, 8 targets, 1 reception, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. So you're thankful it was a touchdown, but Waddle, 6.7 fantasy points. Rashee Rice, 6.8. That's it for the wide receivers. What do we have to say about these guys?
all these big guys will come back.
I'm gonna go back. Are you guys? Tell me if you're worried about these guys or not worried about these guys. Ricky Pearsall, worried or not worried?
Worried.
Okay.
Not crazy worried, but it's just like he'll have some weeks and he's gonna have some dud weeks because Niners. It's gonna be a rotation.
Okay, Devonta Smith, worried, not worried?
Not worried.
All right, DJ Moore, worried, not worried?
Worried.
I've been worried. Never trusted DJ Moore since the start of the season.
Yeah, you telling me? Ladd McConkey, worried or not worried?
Worried. Hate him.
You're
this
just a
guy
hater.
Just forever hates him. I don't know why. I'm not too worried.
Xavier Worthy?
Worried.
Low-key worried because he's like damn near droppable, bro. They don't use him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree. Jamar Chase, not worried.
I'm not really worried, but he's suspended, and it's probably sucks for you if you're on the fringe of trying to make playoffs.
Yeah, literally.
Terrible timing for that one. Remo Dunze?
No,
I'm not too worried.
Amon-Ra?
Definitely not.
Egbuka.
No one else on the list. No one else.
Yeah, literally no. Like this is why it was a strange week because all the big names didn't.
Literally.
Yeah. All right. Any comments on any of these players? You guys want to go over any stats on them? I kind of flew through these.
Not really, no.
Okay. Let's move on then to running backs. At the top, Kamani Vidal, who is on and off, hot and cold. I talked about him. I said
You
trade
said
that
trade
guy.
away.
I said trade him away, and I said he's
Maybe.
probably going to come back to earth.
Yep.
I said he does it. He popped off against, I think it was Tennessee, and I was like, this week we're probably going to see him come back down to earth. And what do you know? He did against Jacksonville. Oh, it was Pittsburgh. Sorry, not Tennessee. Josh Jacobs, who got injured, 4 fantasy points. Tough. Tony Pollard, he's splitting with Tajay Spears. He's not startable. 4.1 fantasy points. David Montgomery, 4.2 fantasy points. He's just, Jahmyr Gibbs is a lot better. Woody Marks, 5.6 fantasy points. I tossed him in here because you expected better from him, but
Yeah. His usage is still there. He had 86% rush share, which was
Okay.
like a new season high for him.
okay. Yeah, 18 attempts and then 1 reception, 1 target. So 44 yards on the ground is pretty bad efficiency, but you know, it is what it is. Quinshon Judkins couldn't get going against Baltimore. Same thing, good usage, 17 rush attempts,
Not worried.
59 yards. Yeah. Too bad I got cut. So in my chopped league, I had him. RJ Harvey, 6.5 fantasy points. Couldn't really capitalize on no J.K. Dobbins.
I'm not worried on RJ because that's a really good Chiefs defense. So he should be better, especially.
Yeah.
teams-
I'm not worried about RJ either. I'm actually excited for RJ.
Yeah.
Also, if your trade deadline's open, trying to kind of trade for RJ, I think he could be like a league-winning type of talent.
They have a tough schedule weeks.
They
playoffs,
do.
fantasy playoffs.
But they're at this point they're gunning for like a bye.
The number 1, yeah.
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 Yeah, they're on an 8-game win streak into the bye. That's very nice. Yeah, that's it for the running backs. I don't have much to say. I already had my comments on these guys. And that's pretty much all there is to it. For Judkins, I mean, Baltimore has been a pretty good or a pretty bad defense against the run so far this season, but I think that defense has just been picking it up over the last few weeks. They're turning into a better group. So, and playing more in sync, and they're just stopping a lot more offense. So that's it for running backs. Anything you guys want to add? No, for running backs.
Nope.
Cool. Tight ends.
We could skip through this weak list, bro.
David Njoku, Kyle Pitts, Dawson Knox, who was supposed to step up what's the other guy's name?
You're not
Okay.
starting any of these homies unless it was you had a bye weeks for 16 man.
I mean, anyways, Dallas Goedert, K. Dotton, Aronde Gadsden, TJ Hawkinson.
Oh,
All
God.
pretty low performance. Yeah, so Kyle Pitts 2.4, Dawson Knox 2.8, Dallas Goedert 3.4, K. Dotton 3.8. Again, in the game where they were throwing where Baker Mayfield was just slinging it. Gadsden 5.1, TJ Hawkinson 5.4.
Yeah. I don't know the extent of Dalton Kincaid's injury. I think it's a hammy, right? But one positive peripheral for Dawson Knox is that he led with 28 routes ran, which was the most on the Bills.
Yeah,
Just
everyone
didn't
out
see
there,
the ball.
everyone who does the cardio on the Bills doesn't seem to get the ball.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's, very interesting. Find out who's running the least amount of routes and then add them to your team and start them. Hey, Aronde Gadsden, I told you guys, trade away. Since I said trade him away after his game against Minnesota, 9.3, 2.8, 5.1 fantasy points. And then he has a tough schedule after the bye for tight ends.
Yeah.
So,
For tight ends, yeah, but I think it's just a matter of Chargers getting to the red zone, really.
I
Because he still sees a decent. He still sees like the same-ish amount of targets around there, right? Maybe not as much as like the prime weeks, but still seeing a good floor of targets. And if they ever get into the red zone, they're probably looking at Aronde.
I just think with the grand scheme of the grand landscape of tight ends in general, and you had him kind of break out, and he had a couple of good weeks in a row, and then we saw them utilize him for an entire drive on that Thursday night game against Minnesota. I was like, he is at peak value right now. Get rid of him. They just spread the ball too much there. You get weeks where one player pops off, or even two players pop off, and the other two just nothing. So
Yeah.
That's
true.
That was my reasoning behind getting rid of him. But now his value's kind of come back down to earth. He's got a bye week and then a tough matchup schedule after the bye week. If you have him, you're kind of stuck with him at this point. TJ Hawkinson, you guys worried for him?
Yeah, I've been worried. He's like borderline like not startable.
Yeah, he's been
Hasn't been
pretty
startable
bad.
since I don't know when.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he hasn't been good. I mean, he's a good tight end, but he just has not been doing well this season. He only scored against Cincinnati and Detroit this season, so not doing too hot. That's it for the tight ends, and that's it for this episode. We'll see you guys on the next episode where we go over the Week 12 waivers. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.